Welcome to Desertwood Days. I am your host, Kathy Blaze, and today I tell you our guest is going to bring some fire to the stage. I'd like to welcome our first guest, Miss Ashley Maffucio.
Yes, it's so wonderful to be here. I'm just very excited to share about what I love and meet you. So, thank you for having me
You're
today.
welcome. Such a pleasure to have you.
Yes.
I am loving that color you're wearing today.
Purple's my favorite.
Yes,
Purple
yes,
is
yes.
hands down my favorite
I
color.
know, royalty.
Love it. Yes.
Miss Ashley, I know that you have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And our guests will be able to hear that today, I'm hoping.
Oh, yes. Yes, I will definitely share. Maybe a wish happy birthday to all the November babies.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm a native of Arizona. Are you a native of Arizona?
I actually was born in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I lived in Texas for a while, but I've spent the majority of my life here in Arizona.
Okay.
So I've been here and there.
And I must tell you, being a native of Arizona, I haven't met many opera singers.
Yes. Well, it's a very niche thing as people understand it anyway. But I believe opera is something that can be enjoyed by everyone. It is definitely new to people, but it's something that I think could be enjoyed not only for its own genre, but mixing with other genres even. So,
How would you say that? Okay, I'm going to start. I first was introduced from a music appreciation class.
yes.
So, but for someone that hasn't taken a music appreciation class, how would you suggest they become introduced to opera so that they really be able to value its beauty?
Well, I started off looking at YouTube videos. Honestly, I just looked up opera and I started listening and I came across some different singers that I enjoyed. In fact, I didn't know opera until I was a bit older. It wasn't until I was around 19 or 20 years old that I even started to sing, really sing. I did some musical theater, but I had played the clarinet before that.
Yeah,
And
I did too.
yeah, oh, clarinet club, love it.
I know, I
Yes.
know. So, what was it that took you to opera? Was there other family members, or what was it that inspired you to want to learn opera?
Oh, wow. Well, I was working at Mimi's Cafe at the time. I wasn't going to college, and my old band director, who came in and he saw me working there, yeah, 18, 19 years old, something like that. And he said, "What are you doing? Why aren't you doing music?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." So I was like, "Well, I better get into it." He's like, "Well, do you want to play the clarinet?" I said, "No." "Well, what do you want to do in music?" And I said, "I love to sing. I love to sing." And he told me, "Well, you need to go over to Chandler Gilbert Community College and sign up for some classes, get a teacher." And I started there and I ended up, really looking on YouTube, listening to different singers, and it was started with chorus and musical theater, and then it really just progressed into a full blown appreciation for classical music and really diving into something that I had never really experienced before. The one singer that got me and made me say, "This is what I want to do for the rest of my life," was Anna Netrebko. She is an opera singer, a very famous opera singer, who sang Meine Lippen, sie küssen so heiß, which in German and translated is "My lips, they kiss so hot." And it was this whole performance of her just dancing around the stage and having the time of her life singing this piece in a different language. I didn't know what she was saying, but I was interested. In opera, you get to study all the different languages and the history. So it's not just singing. You're really training your mind and training your body to create a sound that is seemingly, inhuman because it's so big and loud, but it all comes down to the mechanics of it all and the beauty and the emotion that comes with it, the passion in opera. I think that it's really something that nowadays I think people are ready to reapproach. I mean, opera's been around forever, but I
Right.
think that
But had you ever prior to that had you listened to opera or
no,
no?
I hadn't. In my family, they were musical. To
Hmm.
answer your question from before, they're musical, and there were some music teachers in my lineage. And my mom played the bassoon,
Oh,
and my dad, he played the violin, but it wasn't. They didn't go into any music as a career. They weren't singers,
oh.
and so I'm pretty much the first in my family to go
So,
opera.
but in order to
Mhm.
perform opera,
Mhm.
you had to have a voice already.
I think that you have to initially have a tone quality that
Right.
a lot of it comes down to anatomy of the type of genre of music you end up singing.
Mm-hmm.
However, I am a firm believer, and as a music teacher, I really think that music and singing is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
So we often tell people, "Oh, you can't sing," and I think there are many
Right.
people who believe that they cannot sing because someone
Because
in the
someone has
road
instilled that in
they
them,
said, "Oh,
planted that
don't do
seed.
that." They're,
Yes.
and that joy that they were having singing to some song in the car or
Yeah.
whatever that was taken from them when they were little, saying, "Oh, don't do that. You're not a singer."
Right.
That gets ingrained in you, and then you believe that well, it's a talent thing. It's just
And
about
usually when
talent.
people do that,
Mhm.
it's because they're comparing you to them, your voice to
Absolutely.
their voice.
Mhm.
And we all have different voices.
Absolutely. And singing is for everyone. It does such amazing things for the body even. I mean, and your mental, physical, everything.
Yes.
And it is a skill that can be acquired because it's very technical when it comes down to it. I mean, to hit those higher notes, even if you're singing pop or rock or any of those genres, there is a technique that even protects your voice so you don't ruin your voice while you're on tour.
Right.
So
And I think also because I love music and I
Yes.
love to sing,
Mhm.
it also helps clears out
Mm.
things. I think it keeps you healthy as well.
Yes. Well, there's something to be said about diaphragmatic breathing. I mean, as singers, you sing from your belly. It's a deep breath. I think
Right.
I always say, when you're plant your feet, sing from your feet, from the earth, like take that energy from the earth and let it flow through you. And you're anchoring yourself into your breath.
Right.
And that is healthy because most of us, we breathe pretty shallow right up in our chest.
And you know what, as ladies, we were always taught to suck in your stomach, hold it in.
Mhm.
But when you sing, they're told to push it out.
Well, it's mostly about relaxation. You cannot be stressed and be a singer.
Yeah.
And even though it is a very stressful job at times,
Right.
you have to be able to release the tension in your shoulders, do
Right.
the deep breathing. And when you're breathing, you're expanding.
Yes.
You're not sucking in.
Right.
Though you do have to maintain posture.
Yes.
But all of these things are good for the body.
Yes.
Maintaining posture, breathing correctly.
Right.
We
can't sing and hold our breath at the same time.
No. Yes, it's there's just a lot that goes into it. With opera, you train for years, and
Right.
so
how long have you been training?
oh my gosh, 10 years, and I'm
10 years.
just now I'm 33, and for opera singers, your prime age, dependent on your voice type. It's usually a little bit later. For me, I'm dramatic soprano. 33 is my prime time, so I'll be doing a lot now that my voice wasn't necessarily ready for before. And I'm still working on it. I'm doing professional things, but as a professional.
As we know
Yeah.
that things like that, putting a timeline is something that someone has ultimately done to us. You're too old to do this or this. And we're seeing now that people at different age ranges are doing so much in our society right now.
Yes.
But I also know that you are working on a new project, and I'd like to hear a little bit about that.
Yes, I am so excited about this because it taps into my passion of bringing opera to the masses and really introducing opera to people who might not otherwise ever even think to even go.
Right.
And so I'd love to tell you about Walter Scholes. Walter Scholes is a man I met. He's an Oscar-winning visual effects supervisor.
Okay.
He has just come here to Phoenix and has opened his new virtual stage. And this virtual stage is just amazing. It has the technology for making films, Hollywood productions such as The Mandalorian.
Oh.
It's high end stuff, and
Uh-huh.
we're going to be producing a music video of Voilo Sapete, which is an aria from Cavalleria Rusticana. That's the name of the opera. And it is the role of Santuzza. I will be doing that music video on that stage. I think it's very revolutionary.
Wow.
It will be a very revolutionary production for the opera world.
Right. Consider
So-
this is the time that we're doing things virtually in our lives.
Absolutely.
So you brought some media for us.
I
Something for us to see the
did.
stage.
Yes, so
So we're
I-
going to take a look at that right now.
absolutely, we'll take a look at it because it's just amazing. And this is right here in Phoenix. I mean, we don't have to go anywhere, and in these times, it's not necessary for us to even leave if we have this right here.
Can you tell us about this?
So this is the virtual stage. I can't tell you too much, like I can't speak technically on it, but I will say that it does have the technology of any of the big Hollywood productions. They are really doing so much with it, and it's very exciting.
This is going to be located here in Arizona.
It is already here.
Oh.
It's already here.
My.
It's open. It's just now opened up, and they're still doing so much more. But it's just beautiful.
Yes,
I'm
It's
so
amazing.
excited. It has the capacity to simulate any location.
Oh.
Any location. So you really don't need to go anywhere to make a full-length film right here in Arizona. So I'm excited to be doing a music video on this stage. So that's my
and that gives more an opportunity to experience opera,
Mhm.
music videos, filmmakers.
Yes.
That is awesome. You also brought a couple of photos for us to take a look at also?
I believe there are a few photos. Yes, I would love to take a look at that virtual stage from the front. It was pretty nice.
Pause real quick.
We
I am ready for it. I just need to.
What we're gonna
Sorry.
It's not a problem. If you could just reintroduce that you're about to look at
Okay.
photos.
I'm just
and
gonna
then
do.
I'll switch it. Not a
I'm
big
just
deal.
gonna
Okay.
do this for you, so you know we have a place to edit there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So the one picture, well, we can
Okay.
show all of them. Wait.
Joe's across.
I need
Okay.
to introduce it first.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Okay.
So, all right. I'm now it's the wife.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you brought us a couple of photos also to look at the studio, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
here's a few photos. This was a few weeks back, and they're setting up. You see all those monitors.
Yes.
Yes. And then there's those more stuff they bring right
It's a
in
really
from.
huge location.
Yeah, it's a pretty big space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to say what side of town this location is?
I know it's in Phoenix.
Oh.
I believe it's near the Sky Harbor area.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you exactly off the bat the address.
Okay.
However, that is it. That is the
Oh,
stage. Look how beautiful.
It is
It's
beautiful.
so great. Yeah. So
Not as pretty as our studio.
well, your studio is beautiful as well. Your studio is beautiful as well. But
That was awesome,
Yeah,
Ashley.
so-
That was awesome. So I'd like to ask you, can you sing something for me?
yes, I wanted to sing happy birthday to all of the November babies and all the October babies that I miss, including yourself. So happy birthday.
Thank
And this is
you.
happy birthday in Italian. It is Tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri, cara mia, tanti auguri a te.
you, thank you, thank you. You know, that was such a great experience. And we thank you for joining us here today. And we look forward to. So, where can our audience find you first off?
Well, Instagram, you can look me up by my name, ASHLEY _ M as in Mary, F as in Frank, UCCIO. My very long Italian last name.
It was such a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here at Desertwood Days. And I will catch you next time.